Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to listen to my presentation. I was last year's first con to hear the presentation, and I'm so glad to be able to do it this time. Today, I will be presenting Dissecting the Arsenal of LockBit. I hope that even those who don't know about LockBit will learn something valuable and gain meaningful insights. Okay, so we are going to cover the following topics. Let's take a quick look at who LockBit is, how their weapons are made, and some features. Before I start my presentation, let me introduce myself. I'm HuiSeong Yang, a researcher at S2W. I work in the threat analysis team, analyzing malware, mainly focusing on ransomware groups such as ransomware analysis and dark web activity and whatever. This is my first international presentation, and I'm very nervous, but I'll do my best. SW is composed of 4 teams, and I am part of a threat analysis team called Blacksmith. Okay, let's dive right in and get to know LockBit. LockBit, which most have or has been active since 2019. It is one of the oldest and most notable ransomware groups. If you look at the activity metrics of ransomware groups, you will see that LockBit is much more active than other ransomware groups. These LockBit are organized in RaaS groups. RaaS stands for Ransomware-as-a-Service. This means they sell ransomware to users in the underground market. RaaS groups form an ecosystem. Each person in the group has different tasks depending on the resources and size of the group. It's important to note that the group grows by recruiting affiliates to work with them. So if someone in the RaaS group is caught, investigator can track down more people connected to them. This increases the pressure on the RaaS group. Eventually, many RaaS groups shut down or change their name to avoid detection. However, LockBit has never rebranded and has been a long-standing RaaS group. In fact, LockBit has a negative view of rebranding. For example, when a member of a group called Label was arrested, forum users suggest that Label should rebrand and create a new ransomware. But LockBit responds by saying that rebranding doesn't help at all. This shows how LockBit has a negative view of rebranding, and I got the feeling that they're not going to do it in the future. Okay, now it's time to tell the real story of LockBit developed the Arsenal. Since September 2019, LockBit has undergone 2 major updates and continues to evolve. Each version is color-coded for easy identification. Okay, let's take a look at how they've changed since version 1. They started with ransomware core ABCD, rebranded it to LockBit, and began promoting it on forums. This allowed them to grow their group and finally get affiliates. However, just like any product, reviews are important, and LockBit couldn't escape reviews. A username expert, an affiliate of LockBit, posted a negative review of LockBit ransomware. This had a significant impact on LockBit's reputation. LockBit took their reputation very seriously. So after reading the review, LockBit felt a sense of urgency and started bringing in specialists from various fields to fix the weapon and fix the problems. With the sense of urgency, June 2021 came around. LockBit finally updated to version 2, releasing LockBit Lab and Stillbit. They also decided to target more operating systems and created a weapon for Linux and EXXI. By promoting it on forums, LockBit Linux and EXXI was made public for the first time. After then, in November 2021, a ransomware group called Black Matter felt the pressure from investigators and shut down its operations and rebranded itself as Black Hat. The following picture shows LockBit and Black Hat fighting on a forum. You can see that LockBit mentions our former coder and states that this coder is working with them. This shows that they recruited a coder who used to work for Black Matter. June 2022 arrived after LockBit hired a coder. LockBit updated to version 3, then the recruited coder released LockBit Black, which is based on Black Matter ransomware. After the version 3 release, there was an internal conflict with the coder, who was promised 10% of ransom money as part of his contract. But LockBit refused to pay him, saying they would pay him later through the guarantor. Eventually, their trust was broken here. After conflict, he left LockBit and leaked the LockBit Black Builder in revenge. After seeing the leak, I did a quick analysis of the builder and was the first to upload the contents. This leak was significant, leading to the emergence of many ransomware groups like Bloody, Shadow, and Schoolboys, or using the leaked LockBit Black Builder to create their own ransomware. Then, although affiliates clearly not use the original LockBit Black that LockBit offers, in fact, the leaked version had encryption flow that reused key. In response, LockBit encouraged affiliates to use their own products because the original was bug-free. This was reason enough for affiliates to use the original LockBit Black. Since then, LockBit has continued to test new weapons. The downfall of Conti started in early 2022 with the leak of source code, and it shut down in May 2022. Then LockBit Green was developed using the leaked Conti source code. In April 2023, a weapon from LockBit was discovered that targeted the macOS. The weapon attracted a lot of attention because ransomware targeting macOS is very, very rare. Then something big happened to LockBit. It was Operation Kronos, which was carried out in 2 waves, starting with the seizure of infrastructure on 19 February. Okay, let's look at this in a little more detail. LockBit claimed that the FBI was directly responsible for the attack, and they used the PHP vulnerability. As a result, LockBit's infrastructure, such as the leak site, was seized, and the disclosure of LockBit's sensitive contents on that site. A lot of data was made public in the operation, and among them, LockBit's backend data and affiliate usernames were published and attracted attention. In May, LockBit is attacked once more, this time exposing the identity of LockBit. LockBit is a persona central to LockBit's operation. And it turns out that person is Dmitry living in Russia. In addition, the surnames of LockBit's affiliates are also exposed. I think that many affiliates have left LockBit due to this continuous disclosure of their identities. After the operation, LockBit published the FBI on the leak site. The data they released contained a statement explaining how the incident started and unfolded. This statement signals a desire to continue operating under attack from the FBI. On the second attack, they also ran a contest offering a 1,000 reward for finding Dmitry on the lake site, and tried to make it clear that Dmitry is not LockBit. They also claim not to be Dmitry in their talk status messages, but to me, it just seemed like a strong denial of reality. I mentioned that a lot of data was released during Operation Kronos. During that operation, a new weapon that LockBit has been working on was also labeled. During the methodologies and name it LockBit and that. After Operation Kronos, LockBit labeled that it was working on a new weapon that would target Nutanix environment. It's unclear why Nutanix, but the important thing is that they are not afraid to keep going this judgment. Okay, now let's take a look at some of the features of these weapons. As we saw in history, they have arsenals targeting windows, including red, black, and green series and anti-dab. Additionally, they have weapons for other operating systems and a self-developed tool called Steelbit. Let's examine this one by one. Let's start with LockBit. LockBit is an improved version of the legacy LockBit ransomware with a number of new features. In particular, as we've seen in the history, several features have been added by specialists recruited from the forums. Let's take a closer look at these features. With the help of specialists recruited from the forums, LockBit changed the wallpaper images generated by the GDI feature to the following. Importantly, they added a sentence that invited frightened victims to join them and make money as an insider. This shows LockBit's cunning to exploit the victim's psychology. The self-spread feature was also developed by specialists and is focused on the most common Active Directory environment in the company. If this feature is triggered on a domain controller, LockBit will generate a group policy-related XML file to self-spread LockBit to other systems. This is an attractive feature for ransomware groups that mainly target companies. They also added a printing bomb feature which prints a lot of ransom notes. As you can see from Guy in the video, this feature was used to further confuse and distract victims into paying the ransom. The print bomb feature was originally introduced by the Egregor ransomware in November 2020. However, LockBit joined the Mage Carter in 2021, likely adapting this feature from Egregor. In legacy LockBit, there are 11 steps in total. However, after the update, LockBit has 13 steps with the addition of lateral movement and printing bomb features. Okay, next, let's look at LockBit Black. Okay, LockBit Black is developed by black metal coders based on the black metal ransomware. You can see the LockBit Black as features that were added to LockBit Red, such as printing bomb and self-spread features. LockBit Black features focus on enhancing security by encrypting keys in memory and require a password for execution. As you can see from the flow of the self-spread code, the code for LockBit Red and LockBit Black is similar. It appeared to have been imported from LockBit Red. This shows how important this feature is to LockBit, as they made sure to add it despite the large patch. This RTL encrypt decrypt memory shows DP APIs, also known as data protection APIs. Originally intended to help securely store sensitive information such as user password and authentication tokens, but LockBit Black uses this API to protect the key used to encrypt files in memory. This further increases security. LockBit Black also has additional parameter beyond those used by Blank Matter. As the feature have been updated, these parameters have been added. The main one is the pass parameter, which requires a specific password to be input to execute the ransomware. This means that only LockBit affiliates who know the password can use LockBit Black. Thus, LockBit released LockBit Black in addition to LockBit Red. Okay, let's consider this. As I mentioned, the LockBit Black builder was leaked. So who would use this leak builder? I guess it would be script kiddies who don't know how to create ransomware. I wonder, is there any way to distinguish between the script kiddies and LockBit affiliates that use original LockBit Black? So I took a look at the signature of the ransomware created with the leak builder and found that all of them have the same timestamp and section hash. The following is the same timestamp and section hash value for each creation. There are two versions of the leak builder, leaked by two users, Proton Leaks and Ali Kusiji. This is the detection point, which is expected to distinguish between LockBit affiliates and script kiddie. Next, let's look at LockBit Green. When I analyzed LockBit Green, I noticed that many features were not added. So I thought, why are these features not included? I guess the reason is the release date. LockBit Red and LockBit Black were released in June 2021 and June 2022. Respectively, as version 2 and version 3 were released in a 1-year cycle. Originally, it was supposed to be released in June 2023, but the builder was leaked, and LockBit felt the need to quickly create the next version of LockBit. This is why LockBit Green was released in such a hurry, and the rush to getting ready meant that not many features were added. Despite this, LockBit has added a few features from the Conti version 3 source code. A detailed analysis revealed the following feature added to LockBit Green. The process of decrypting file extension using an XOR operation was added, and decoding RSA public keys by using the crypt decode object API was also added. Additionally, I found that the ransom note had been modified to match their style. Okay, next, let's explore LockBit NGDAP. Based on trend micros analysis, here are LockBit NGDAP's feature. Because LockBit is building the weapon from scratch, many features are absent. But considering that it is still under development, it is likely to be updated in the future. I haven't been able to analyze it directly as the sample hasn't been made public yet, but trend micros analysis reveals some interesting information. Unlike previous weapons that were developed in C or C++, The fact that they were developed in .NET suggests that they may have used new developers rather than existing ones. In addition, LockBit added a way to specify the date the ransomware can be executed in order to prevent its reuse. Also, unlike other ransomware that encrypt file based on file size, this one is unique in that it offers 3 different encryption modes based on the file extension. Okay, next, let's examine weapons target OSs other than Windows, starting with the Linux and EXSI locker. When these weapons first came out, their functionality was fairly simple. It had 6 basic features ranging from string decryption to logging capabilities. Then came the news of an update to Linux and EXSI locker. But did they actually update the features? The basic features described above have been updated with each version. There have been 3 updates in total, with 1.2 version being the largest patch. In the patch, you can see the addition of the path parameter, which was also added to LockBit Black. In particular, LockBit has added the feature to directly target virtual machines via the VMDK parameter. Next, let's take a look at the macOS version. macOS weapons are very similar to the Linux version. Why is that? This is because LockBit macOS is very similar to the LockBit Linux and EXSI locker. In particular, I found that the process of decoding strings and parameter used and even the commands for virtual machine are all similar. Moreover, based on the code flow and similarity of the code, I ultimately determined that the code is similar to the 1.2 version code of the Linux and EXXI. Finally, let's examine the cell-made Stillbit. LockBit's affiliates have always depending on publisher tools like Mega and Arclone to upload data. But they often lose access to the data once the victim or law enforcement contact the data storage provider. So LockBit created Stillbit to help affiliates attack effectively. There are 2 versions of Stillbit, 1.0 and 1.1. The differences in their feature are as follows. LockBit added parameter when it updated Stillbit to version 1.1. In addition, the API resolving method used shift and XOR operation to evade detection. And the function to check CIS countries was also removed. Since this Stillbit was released in LockBit version 2, I saw a lot of similarity with LockBit led during analysis. The anti-debugging techniques, use of FMV1A hashes, CIS country check, and the shortcut used for logging are all very similar to LockBit led. This suggests that the same coders who created LockBit led were involved in the development of Stillbit. However, Stillbit hasn't been used as often as LockBit intended. For example, an affiliate targeting South Korea didn't use Stillbit, but actively used a stealer like Bidder. I think there are 2 main reasons for this. One is that the features don't work properly. And in fact, I've found that several parameters added in Stillbit 1.1 don't work properly. The other is that they are frequently detected and blocked, In Accenture's incident report, there was a case where the attacker used Steelbit. But because Steelbit was detected and blocked, the attacker used our clone. For these reasons, I believe that Steelbit would not be used by affiliates. Okay, in conclusion, as we've seen, LockBit cite a lot of source code, and I get the sense that they are looking for competitors' locker source code. I've seen this in a forum as well. When a post was made about LockBit Green and Conti being similar, LockBit actually said that they wanted to collect as many locker as possible for their panel, and they are also looking for competitors' code. This shows that they are constantly looking for locker source code. Therefore, before LockBit can leverage the sources to build a weapon, we need to analyze the sources that LockBit might use. And a builder leak like LockBit Black can have a huge impact. So it's important to analyze the builder and the ransomware for detection points. Also, law enforcement keeps knocking on their door, but LockBit continues to maintain their brand by not only expanding their OS like macOS, Linux, but also by hiring coders to develop for them like LockBit and GDAP. So stay tuned and keep track of the common characteristics and evolution of the ever-changing LockBit arsenal. This is my conclusion. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. And I must admit, for somebody who was a nervous speaker or said he was, it was an excellent, excellent talk. So we do have time for questions. So please do use the microphones.
Thanks for the great talk. How do you see the effects of the law enforcement takedown campaigns? Did they have any kind of a serious effect? Why the takedown failed? Any thoughts on that?
I haven't investigated this myself, but I know it's usually done through cryptocurrency wallet address linked to the arrested person or by seizing their chat logs. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello. A little while back, I investigated a LockBit incident, and it was LockBit Black. I was wondering, we saw that LockBit had 3 or 4 different usernames hard-coded, which it tried to log on to the domain controller. I was wondering if you have seen that yourself, or if this was something custom somebody has asked for, if this was part of the leaked LockBit builder, just to have a feeling of this, if this was script kiddies or somebody that has bought Ransomware-as-a-Service.
Oh, one more, please.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Does leaked LockBit builder have hard-coded users for Windows domain, or is that something custom for my case? It was an administrator, admin2, and ad.lab users at least.
As far as I know, it's constantly being updated. For example, Well, after Operation Kronos, LockBit start providing weapons to update in their panel. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.